GOP leaders making tweaks to a controversial health care deal, hoping to get a vote this week before going on another recess. Joining us now is GOP strategist Ford O'Connell. Good morning, Ford.
Good morning. Great to be here as always.
Republicans are making last-minute changes late Tuesday night, last night. Final flurry of tweaks and calls to get 216 votes. Is this going to work? Will they get the votes?
I don't know that they're going to get the votes, but I do think that the Trump White House is right to push them, because the longer you wait, to pull the trigger, the harder it becomes to pass this type of legislation. Here's the rub here. Basically, it's all about how are we going to fund pre-existing conditions. Are we going to do it through high-risk pools, or are we going to do it through another mechanism? And the problem is moderate Republicans are scared of what's going to happen in the 2018 midterms, and President Trump is just asking them to trust the legislative process, because in all honesty, it's in his best interest not to sacrifice them like lambs.
So there's a major rift right now within the GOP between the moderates and the conservatives. In the end, how confusing does this bill get?
Well, I don't know how confusing it's going to get, but we're going to try to show some inter-party bipartisanship for once, particularly in the House. Look, they're all over the place, but understand something. We just have to get it out of the House and get it onto the Senate, because, trust me, the Senate's going to make changes as well. Then it will go to conference before the president can actually sign the bill. So we got to trust the process here and push this forward. This is what the American people put the Republicans in Congress in the last election, to basically make sure that they make changes to ObamaCare, because it's unsustainable.
And Ford, well, what's the timing? Do you think House Speaker Ryan will bring this bill to the floor for a vote this week? Will that start it off?
If House Speaker Ryan knows what's best for him, he'll make the vote as soon as possible, because, again, the longer you wait, the worse it becomes. And, frankly, we got to move on to tax reform, because that's what's going to kickstart this economy.
Yeah, and let's say health care does not get support. Is that it? Is Obamacare reform over?
No, you'll actually probably get a second bite at the apple, because we're going to have sticker shock coming in the fall of 2017 or in 2018, particularly when the Cadillac tax kicks in. Look, we have a limited amount of time to get rid of Obamacare. If we can't do it, we got to go on to tax reform and make sure we get that right before the end of 2017, so we can actually see those gains in the pockets of the American workers at the midterms and when Trump's running for re-election in 2020.
How do you think Trump's doing so far? We passed 100 days.
I think that Trump is doing an excellent job. I'm a very pro-Trump guy. What I think that the problem here is that Republicans in Congress in particular have yet to learn how to govern, and they have to understand that they can get 2 or 3 items through, but they all have to understand they cannot protect their own personal cows.
Right.
They've got to do what's in the best interest of the country, and that is to govern.
GOP strategist Ford O'Connell, thank you for joining us this morning. Thanks, Ford.
Thank you, ladies.